Tempus here. Hello and welcome to another Tempus Weekly. Woo! Yeah, so this week we're going to talk about key binding, a bit on how to do it, but then we're going to have a look at the many ways to get used to the damn thing. So let's get going. First up, let's have a good look at how to keybind with the default Blizzard keybind menu, and then with a nifty add-on. Hello everyone. This is the default Blizzard UI in terms of the bars here and the bars at the bottom. And this is how we're going to use the default key binding service. We're going to use game menu, or you can just press escape. And then you're going to go to key bindings. Now at key bindings you can just scroll down and you can bind pretty much everything. So let's go right up to the top. And here we go. So we're going to see action bar. Now action button 1 and these ones here, those are basically for this bar here, because this is your action bar 1. So for example, if I bound say action button 2, which is this one here, that's action button 1, this is action button 2. So if I bound that to say something like nice, like maybe F or something. See, then that becomes F over there. Now if I scroll down a little bit, you can go all the way down here. There we go. Now these, if you're using the default Blizzard UI, will help you keybind the side here and these ones over here. So for example, you've got bottom right action button 1, action button 2, so bottom right bar is this one, it's in the bottom right hand side here. So that one's bound to 2, so it's 2 there, this one's bound to 3, this one's here, 4 is there. Now, if I scroll up a little bit, this is bottom left action bar, so you'll see it goes here. There we go. And we've got the right action bar, which is this one. And the right action bar 2, which is this one. So if you're using the default Blizzard UI, then you can just see by here, bottom right is this one, bottom left is this one, right that one, and right number 2 is this one. All done and lovely. Now we are going to have a look at an add-on that allows you to keybind in such an easy way. I love this add-on. Even if it was not configurable at all, and all it had in its whole arsenal of what this add-on did was just that it did this key binding thing, I would still love it because it is amazing. The default Blizzard key binding system is actually quite pathetic. It is such a mission if you want to key bind everything. I mean, to go and click these buttons one by one by one by one by one, it's going to take you a decently long time to get any sort of configuration that works at all for you. So here we go. This is dominoes. Now I've got it in the slide bar here, but you can also grab it in the mess of my mini-map. I think I've got like a bazillion add-ons. If I install one more, my computer might just say, okay, that's enough, and crash or something. But you could also just go into the interface, add-ons, dominoes. And here we go. So you've got the configure bars thing, but we don't really care about that right now. It's all about the bind keys button. Okay, now basically, as you can see here, it just says hover over a button, then you press the key to set its binding. To clear a current button's key binding, press escape. So if I want to bind, let's say bind this, let's bind this to, let's say, let's bind that to B. There we go, done. It's bound to B. It's fixed. It's just boom. Okay, cool, it's V. It's B. Wonderful. And if I just press, for example, let's say I wanted that to be X. Boom, done. If I hover over this, which is Shift 2, and I say no, I don't want to keep binding there. Blah, doesn't work for me. Don't know why. Just doesn't. Don't argue. Just hover over it and escape. Done. Boom. Wow. And if I just want to do it again, I could just hover over it, shift, 2, whoosh, just done. And if I want to clear these, just escape, escape, done. Beautiful. So easy to use. I love it. Thank you, creator of this add-on. Good job, man. High five, right there. High five. Now we covered a bit about how to keybind. We can talk about the biggest issue for somebody used to being a clicker. Because you come into the game, you click all your skills, you move only with the keyboard instead of the mouse, because you don't know any better, and that's fine. But then you start playing at higher and higher levels, and people start saying that you need to keybind. And maybe you've dabbled in it a bit, but it just doesn't stick. So here are some ways to get used to those darn things. Before we get started, no matter what way you choose, you're going to have to stick with it. If you keep undoing your keybinds, it's never going to stick, so just do them and then keep using them no matter what. You can of course tweak them, but just make sure that you're still using keybinds. So the first way. This is the relaxed approach. You go into the game and you keybind a few keys at a time, then you memorize those keys over time, and then you keybind a few more, and a few more, and slowly but surely you're getting everything keybound. This is great if you're not under any time pressure, and it's a great way to keybind in a relaxed way. The downside of that technique is that, well, it's slow, and if you're impatient like me, you want things done and you want them done now. If you're unfortunate enough to be impatient as I am, then we move on to technique number 2. You may have heard of total immersion. Basically, with this technique, you overwhelm yourself, but you learn fast. So what we do is we go into the game, keybind everything in one go to something that is reasonably good, and then we jump straight into the fray and refuse to click anything. And we only use our keybinds. And of course, we move with the mouse. This method might be stressful for you, and you might just go back to clicking if you use it. That's why I'm listing a variety of them, and then you pick what works for you, because what works for one person might not work for another one. So, not getting too far off topic, you can take the total immersion a step further, if you really want to, and go to the battlegrounds. Even if you don't PvP, I heavily recommend battlegrounds, as in my opinion, they may as well be called learning grounds. They are one of the best places in the entire game to learn pretty much anything. Now, if you're really against battlegrounds, then you can just jump into a dungeon. But doing so isn't really fair, unless you can perform, because in a dungeon, there's only 5 people, and in a pub group, they usually need the best you can offer to make up for some of the other people. Doing this as a DPS is usually fine, but if you go in as a tank or a healer, you have to look at your buttons every fight, you're going to kind of screw up the group a little bit. So, I still advise that you rather use battlegrounds. Technique number 3. Do you want an alt? Well, if you're going to be leveling a new character, you may as well keybind as you go. This is an even more relaxed method than technique number 1. The thing is, though, that it's perfect for a lot of new keybinders, as every time you get a new skill, you pop it on your action bars, keybind the button, and that way you learn as you go, and when you reach max level, you will know your keybinds inside and out. That's it for this Tempus Weekly. I hope it helps you out, and that you enjoyed it. Feel free to click the subscribe button on the video to know about new videos. Good luck, and have fun.